Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And we're kicking things off with the #1 contendership to Jade Cargill's Women's Championship. And
the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Tokyo, Japan, Julia!
And here comes the first opponent, looking to get some gold around her waist at Money in the Bank. If she can defeat her opponent here tonight, then she could face Jade Cargill. In about 4 weeks in Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But Julia has one hell of a competition because, ladies and gentlemen, her opponent is the role model, a future Hall of Famer, Grand Slam champion in Bayley.
And her opponent from San Jose, California, Bayley!
Bayley's looking to become Women's Champion once again here in Universe Mode. Trying to get back in the winning ways like she was a couple years ago. But ladies and gentlemen, this will be one hell of a match to kick off Friday Night SmackDown. Live in Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this opening match. Julia Bayley. Winner faces Jade Cargill. And this match is underway. Bayley starts this match off with a strike, but Julia finds a reversal. And now Bayley into the guillotine, looking to tap out Julia quick in this match, but Julia finds a way out of it. And now Julia with the elbow collar tie-up. But now Bayley locks in the headlock. And ladies and gentlemen, if you remember, Julia was in triple threat action about a month ago in episode 4, where she faced Flair and Roxanne Perez. Winner went to Backlash. Julia did come up short in that match. Now she has another opportunity to go for the Women's Championship if she can defeat the role model. And now back into another elbow collar tie-up. These women have chemistry with one another into a headlock by Julia. Bayley's a veteran here in WWE. It would be a massive win for Julia if she can knock off the role model here tonight. And now Julia with the technical wrestling here to start off this matchup. And now Julia finds a drop kick, sending Bayley down to the ring, or outside the ring. And now both women on the outside of the ring. Big clothesline, down goes Bayley. And you gotta think Bayley hasn't done much here in Universe Mode. This is her first appearance here in Universe Mode since the new season started. She's looking to build momentum, trying to get back her Women's Championship. Julia getting reversed in the corner. And now here comes a veteran like Bayley. Big elbow by Julia. Big miss by Julia. And now Bayley's in full control, but Julia finds a reversal. with a stiff elbow, and now Julia sends Bayley off the ropes. Big forearm, down goes Bayley. Going for the pin. Is this gonna be enough? And a kick out before won by Bayley. And now Julia off the ropes. The big stomp, down goes Bayley. And now Julia with the Luthane press on Bayley. Julia is so methodical with her strikes here in Universe mode here in WWE. And now Julia goes to the middle rope. Bayley's on her feet. And there's the axe handle. Bayley finds the axe handle of her own. And now another one. And now Bayley in the corner. Shoulder tackle rolls through. And now Bayley turning up another level with the hip attack. And now Bayley with the Bayley to belly. And now Bayley not giving Julia any time to breathe. Kick back to the knee. And there's the Rose Plant by Bayley to go to Money in the Bank. There's two, and a kick out by Julia. Bayley with an explosive couple moves here, almost defeated Julia. But now Bayley gets up. Julia now goes to the top rope. What does Bayley have in mind? There's the axe handle. Stomp to the ankle. And now Bayley, full head of steam off the ropes with the elbow drop. And now Bayley controlling the matchup. And now getting up. Julia, here's Bayley sending Julia, but Julia finds the reversal. There's the duck under, leapfrog, and now Julia finds the right hand. Stomp to the midsection, and now look at Julia with the raking of her boot across her face, and now there's a big boot. And now Julia with Bayley on her shoulder, and there's a slam down. Julia into the cover. There's two, and Bayley gets the shoulder up. And now Julia gets Bayley across the ring, getting her away from the ropes. And now Julia with the knee. That might have knocked Bayley out. Going for the pin. There's two, and a kick out by the role model once again. And now Julia with the combinations. Down goes Bayley. Going for the pin once again. Is this going to be enough to defeat the role model? And Bayley kicks out at one. Now what does Julia have in mind? Big headbutt. Down goes Bayley. But Bayley now kicks off Julia. And what does Bayley have in mind? Full head of steam. Big knee in the corner. And now gets up Julia. Into the corner goes Julia. Julia though finds the reversal, driving Bayley into the corner. And now Julia full head of steam. Elbow, and now Julia with the exploder suplex out of the corner. But Bayley popped right back up. There's the combinations, and the DDT plants Julia. Going for the pin. Is this gonna be enough to defeat Julia? And Julia kicks out. And now Julia finds the reversal into a drop kick. Down goes Bayley. And now what does Julia have in mind? Kick to the midsection. Julia gets up Bayley, and down face first goes Bayley. Now Bayley with the veteran-like ring awareness, rolling outside the ring, trying to build separation. But Julia's on top, and Julia plants the forearm. And now Bayley trying to get something going, but Julia delivers another knee. And once again, working over the knees of Bayley is Julia. Count of 4 by our referee. Bayley sent into the barricades. Count of 5, Julia getting up Bayley, but both women finding the reversal. And now Julia with Bayley with the brain buster. Count of 7 by our referee. Julia looking to take the count out victory. But no, Julia gets back inside the ring. Julia can win by count out. It looks like she's going to. And she does.
Here is your winner, Julia!
Julia will face Jade Cargill at Money in the Bank for the Women's Championship. What a match! Julia was just smarter than Bayley. And that got her the victory here tonight. And we are back here live in Philadelphia. And ladies and gentlemen, here comes one half of the Street Profits, who came up short against the Creeds at Clash in the Castle.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the Street Profits from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 232 pounds, Montez Ford.
Montez Ford is in singles action. Angelo Dawkins have the night off here tonight. But after the Street Profits lost at Clash in the Castle against the Creeds, Montez Ford is looking to gain that momentum back with a win here tonight against the former United States champion. This is Montez Ford's first singles match here in Universe mode. He's a declarated tag team competitor. It's gonna be interesting what he can do against the former United States champion in Carmelo Hayes.
And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes is looking to get his United States Championship back here in Universe Mode. He has a rematch clause to whenever he wants to use it. But now Carmelo Hayes, while he makes his way down to the ring, we have a lot more action coming up for you here tonight, because Joe Gacy, part of the Wyatt Six, will be in action against the United States champion Finn Balor. And in our main event, the WWE Women's United States and Women's Champion Jade Cargill will be in action in our main event. And now the crowd firmly behind Montez Ford here to begin this matchup. And now into an elbow collar tie-up is these two competitors. And now Carmelo Hayes forcing Ford into the corner, but Ford with the cheap shot. And now Ford missing the DDT, big punch by Hayes, and now Hayes off the ropes. Ford finding the reversal, now Ford taking down Hayes with the lariat. Knee to the back, and now Ford off the ropes of his zone. Splash down on Hayes. And now look out, Ford showboating here in this matchup. Big right hand. And now there's a chop by Hayes. Big forearm. And now look out, Ford and Hayes battling it out in the middle of the ring. In the early parts of this matchup, big forearm by Hayes. And now Hayes with the moonsault. And now choking out Montez Ford is Carmelo Hayes. Going for the pin on Ford to gain momentum back for the U.S. title, and a kick out by Ford. And now there's the punches by the former U.S. champion. Stomp to the arm. And now into the submission. The submission hold on Ford, but Ford got out of it quickly. It was one hell of a match between Balor and Hayes at Clash in the Castle. Hayes put up one hell of a fight, but Balor just had that extra little fight in him. And now look at Hayes getting reversed by Ford into a power slam. And now Ford taking out Carmelo Hayes, diving to the outside and now delivering another splash. And now Ford looking to punish Hayes more into a swinging neck breaker by Ford. Count of 3 by a referee, sending Hayes into the corner, or into the ring. And now Ford turning around, Hayes going for the pin to defeat the former U.S. champion in a kick out at 1 by Hayes. Now Ford trying to go for a grapple, but Hayes rolls up Ford, and Ford kicks out quick. And now Ford getting on the defensive. Hayes drops the elbow. And now big punch by Hayes. Hayes having aggression side that we haven't seen, but he might need to bring it out if he wants the U.S. Championship back in his possession. But now look at the former U.S. champion on the top rope. Hayes with the axe handle. And now what does Carmelo have in mind here on the apron? Now getting back inside, dropping the elbow down on Ford. And now Hayes headbutt into the corner. And now Carmelo power slam. And now Ford is in the drop zone. Carmelo goes up to the top rope for the frog splash. Going for the pin. There's 2, and Ford barely gets the shoulder up. And now look at Hayes arguing with the referee, saying that was 3, but that gave Ford enough time to recover, back up to his feet, and now Ford with the powerbomb on Hayes. Hayes was getting his anger against him here, and now into a slam down by Ford. And now what does Ford have in mind? Big reversal by Hayes. And now what does Carmelo have in mind here? Carmelo sends Ford into the corner. Big reversal by Ford. And now Ford ducked under. DDT on Hayes. Going for the pin off the DDT. Is this going to be enough to defeat Carmelo? And a kick out at 1. And now Ford gets up. Hayes here, big punch. And now Ford with the punches, and down goes Ford, or Carmelo Hayes. Up goes Ford on the top rope, and there's from the heavens the airtime Montez gets. There's 2, and a kick out again by Montez, or by Carmelo Hayes. And now Hayes connects with the clothesline, and now Hayes looking for the neck breaker. Going for the pin to defeat Montez Ford, and Ford kicks out. Flying salt missed by Carmelo Hayes, and now Ford hyping up the crowd. Montez Ford has Hayes, and powerbomb once again. Down goes Carmelo. And now Ford with the punches to the face of Hayes now. Hayes rolling to the apron. Montez Ford looking to inflict more damage. Big shoulder to the midsection. And now Ford stomp to the arm. And now punching Hayes in the face. But Hayes getting up here. Big reversal. And now Ford with the jumping DDT. Planning Hayes. Count of 2 by our referee. Ford sends Hayes into the ring. Montez off the apron and taking out our referee. Adrian Butler got involved with the action. Got a little too close, and now Ford with the clothesline. Montez Ford rolls through. Neckbreaker down on Hayes. And now Montez Ford climbs to the top rope. Montez from the heavens. Going for the pin. The referee's back in position. There's 2 and a kick out by Hayes. And now the crowd chanting one more time. Big punch by Ford. Hayes finds the hip toss. And now what does Hayes have in mind? Big moonsault. Hayes slow to get up here. Big stomp to the arm. And now another time. And now Carmelo Hayes wants Montez Ford up here. What does Hayes have in mind? Cross body on Montez Ford. Now getting up Ford. Setting up near the end. Carmelo Hayes down with authority. Going for the pin to defeat Montez Ford. There's 2, and Ford kicks out again. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an instant classic here in this matchup, live in Philadelphia. What a big moonsault by Carmelo Hayes. Now getting up on half of the Street Profits once again. Into a facebuster, going for the pin. Off the facebuster. Is this gonna be enough? There's 2, and Ford barely gets the shoulder up. And now Carmelo has Montez Ford and down with authority for the 3rd time in this match. No way Ford kicks out. There's 2, and Carmelo Hayes with the win.
Here is your winner, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes with a dominant win. What a match, ladies and gentlemen. But coming up next, the United States champion is in action. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live in Philadelphia. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the Wyatt Six in action, or one member of the Wyatt Six, because Joe Gacy is looking to claim some gold for the Wyatt Six. And here comes the Wyatt Six, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to take you guys back a couple weeks ago, because the Wyatt Six faced the Creeds in episode 6 of Universe Mode. The Creeds walked out victorious in that match. And then there hasn't been really any singles competitors of the Wyatt Six in singles competition until now. But also episode 11, the Wyatt Six lost to the Street Profits. And ever since then, we haven't seen much of the Wyatt Six till tonight. And now Joe Gacy is looking to correct the wrong. Looking to get some gold in the Wyatt Six. Accompanied by Uncle Howdy, Dexter Loomis, and Eric Rowan. But ladies and gentlemen, here comes the United States champion, who put on one hell of a match at Clash in the Castle to win the United States Championship.
County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Finn Balor.
Finn Balor bringing back the classic United States Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, Finn Balor has been on a dominant spree. Because before he defeated Carmelo Hayes, Balor defeated Roman Reigns, who gave his showed his sportsmanship to Finn Balor after that match. And Finn Balor's looking to continue his dominant reign as United States Champion. This is non-title match though. Balor can lose this match and still be United States Championship. But there is a #1 contendership next week for the United States Championship. We will find out who Finn Balor will face in Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get in to this non-title action. Balor, Gacy, and this match is underway. Big form by Finn, and now turning around Gacy's Balor, and now look at Balor dropkick. Gacy though finds the reversal, and now Gacy getting reversed once again by Balor, but Gacy finds the reversal, and now Gacy tries to lays out Balor, but Balor finds the reversal once again. Gacy finds the reversal of his own, and now here comes Gacy planning the US champion with the DDT, going for the pin, and a kick out by Balor. Drop kick avoided, and now Balor trying to get on the offensive. Big form, down goes Gacy. Big reversal by Gacy, and now Balor's on the defense. What a super kick by Gacy. Big form, and now here comes the combination of Joe Gacy. And I think this is first time Joe Gacy has been in action here in Universe Mode. We normally see Dexter Loomis and Eric Rowan in tag team action. And now Balor went for the drop kick, super kick out of midair by Gacy. And now Balor with the kick up, Balor with the clubbing blow to the back. But Gacy finds the reversal, Gacy with the swinging neck breaker on Balor. But now look at Gacy getting reversed once again. Kick to the midsection, and now Gacy trying to slow this match down. Into another super kick, down goes Balor. Big punch, and another punch now. And now Gacy finds a knee, and now stomping out the chest of Balor. And Gacy once again showboating here in this match. Kick to the arm. And now what does Gacy have in mind? Locking in the submission here on Balor. Is Balor gonna tap out? No, Balor gets out of it quickly. Big elbows to the head of Gacy. And now Gacy's in trouble. Balor with the headlock, putting Gacy on the ropes. And now choking out Gacy. On the top rope is Balor. But there's Uncle Howdy playing dividends for Joe Gacy, who plants Finn Balor. And now locking in the submission once again. Is Gacy gonna tap out the United States champion? But no, Balor finds the reversal. Balor gets out of it quickly. Big reversal by Joe Gacy, and now look at Gacy. Trying to go for the drop kick. Big reversal by Finn Balor. And now Balor off the apron, missing the senton. Gacy's already back up to his feet. Big reversal into the elbow. Going for the pin to defeat Joe Gacy. There's two, and a kick out by Gacy. And now look out, Balor going to the top rope. Big elbow by Gacy. Gacy knew he was in trouble and he had to move. Big reversal by Balor. Now Balor off the ropes. Big drop kick, down goes Gacy. And these two men had a history in NXT, ladies and gentlemen. These two guys fought for the NXT championship. Big uppercut, and down goes Balor. And now what does Gacy have in mind? Putting Balor in the tree of woe. And now just choking Balor out with the boot. And now Gacy showboating, but now once again Finn Balor playing mind games with Joe Gacy. Remember, Balor told the Judgment Day to F off, but there's our truth. Our truth is here. And down goes Truth. Our Truth tried to get involved, and now Joe Gacy with the punch. Reversal by Balor. Big reversal by Gacy now. And now Gacy gets reversed by Balor. Both men want the same outcome. And now rolling up, Balor is Gacy. There's two, and Balor almost didn't get the shoulder up. And now look at Gacy, full head of steam with the single leg drop kick. And now Gacy trying to lock in the submission once again. Balor though finds the reversal. And now Balor with the 1916 on Gacy. Is this gonna be enough to defeat the United States, or to defeat Gacy? And yes, it is.
Here is your winner, Finn Balor.
Finn Balor defeating Joe Gacy with no hope for more truth. We will need an explanation off that in the near future. But ladies and gentlemen, coming up is our main event. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back live in our main event here in Philadelphia.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Orlando, Florida, the WWE Women's Champion and the WWE Women's United States Champion, Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill the most dominant woman here in Universe Mode, defeating Soruka in what was one hell of a match at Clash in the Castle. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you back to episode 8 of Universe Mode, where Jade Cargill squashed Raquel Gonzalez to capture the United States Championship. And now Jade Cargill reigning supreme with both women's titles here on SmackDown. But now, ladies and gentlemen, her opponent here tonight is Chelsea Green.
And her opponent, from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green looking to come out with a big win here tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, I do have to make it a point. We haven't seen Soruka since Clash in the Castle. Reports say she might be injured, and other reports say she stepped away for a couple weeks. Nobody truly knows. We haven't heard anything from Soruka. But this would be one hell of a main event match. Ladies and gentlemen, Jade Cargill, possibly one of the most dominant women on the SmackDown roster, and maybe in all of WWE. What a spear by Jade, going for the pin to defeat Chelsea Green early. There's two and a kick out by Green. Jade Cargill almost defeated Chelsea Green in matter of seconds. And now Green looking to roll up the women's champion. Big reversal and a kick out by the champion. And now Jade Cargill with her power backing up Chelsea Green onto the ropes. Referees trying to get involved. A cheap shot by Chelsea Green here. And now Chelsea Green pushing off the women's champion. And it's really haven't been apparent to any other challenger that faced Jade Cargill besides Soruka, who really has brought a fight to Jade. Big clothesline by Cargill. And now Cargill once again, down goes Chelsea Green. And you gotta remember, back at Clash in the Castle, Soruka kicked out of 4 Jaded. That must hurt the ego of Jade Cargill just a tiny bit, if you think about it. It must have to be in the back of Jade Cargill's mind that it needed 4 of her top finishers to put away Soruka. And now Jade once again finding the reversal. Now Chelsea Green trying to get on the offensive. Big shoulder tackle. Down goes Chelsea Green. And this has all been Jade Cargill. And now look at the military press slam by Jade. Going for the pin, and Chelsea Green kicked out. Big boot by Jade Cargill. And once again, limiting Chelsea Green to as minimal offense as possible. And now into another German suplex. And ladies and gentlemen, what does any women on the SmackDown roster need to do to defeat Jade Cargill? What a DDT. Big boot by Jade. And now Jade finds the form. Big ass boot. Down goes Chelsea Green. And once again, just showboating is Jade Cargill. I don't know how right that was. Big boot, and now big reversal. Another reversal by Jade Cargill. Up goes Chelsea and down with the power bomb. And that has all been Jade Cargill in the early goings of this match. Into the corner, and now into a shoulder tap, and look at Jade just abusing and torturing Chelsea Green here tonight. Big uppercut. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Jade Cargill sending Chelsea Green into the corner. Chelsea Green there finds the reversal, sending Jade Cargill into the corner. Big knee. And now look at Chelsea Green taking it to Jade Cargill. But we can't give Soruka props for Clash in the Castle. She wasn't the only woman. It takes two to tangle. Soruka hit 3 to 4 snow snatchers on Jade Cargill, and she kicked out of all of them. Big uppercut, down goes Chelsea Green. Jade Cargill is just on another level that no other woman is. And now Jade Cargill finding another reversal here in this match. And it has all been Jade. Big form. Another big ass boot. And now look at Jade just showboating on Chelsea Green. I don't think we ever seen Chelsea Green get dominated as much as she is tonight. And now Chelsea Green gets up in the corner. Jade Cargill puts on the top rope. Chelsea finds a boot. And now Chelsea Green sends Jade off the ropes. Jade just sidestepped. And now Jade went for another spear. Chelsea finds the reversal. Big reversal by Chelsea Green. Stepped her takedown. But Jade Cargill finds another reversal. Big chops and another chop. But now Jade Cargill finds the reversal. Chelsea Green finds the reversal now. And now look at Jade Cargill finding another reversal and another big ass boot. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this might be the beginning of the end. Jade Cargill with Chelsea Green on the top rope. Jade Cargill looking to prove her statement to everyone in the SmackDown locker room. With an avalanche, Jaded. There's two, and Chelsea Green can't kick out. Jade Cargill with the dominant performance.
Here is your winner, Jade Cargill.
What a match, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. We will catch you for Monday Night Raw. Peace out.